Hello and welcome, my dear friend. If you're here, it's not an accident on the algorithm. God has been watching the way people react to you lately, and He wanted you to finally understand why. Spiritual growth is not just an invisible, internal thing. When a chosen one changes on the inside, the outside eventually starts telling on them. Your voice sounds different, your posture shifts, and very quietly, your face begins to tell a new story, even before you've fully caught up to it. Some of you have already noticed it. A close friend says, "You look different. I can't explain it, but something about you is softer." You open the front camera, and for a moment you think, "Why do I look calmer than I feel?" You walk into a shop, and the person at the counter looks up, locks eyes with you, and suddenly loses their words. It's not vanity. You're not obsessed with your looks. You're just aware that something is off in a way that feels too specific to ignore. This message is here to tell you you're not imagining it. Chosen ones, God has upgraded what people read on your face. Even from a scientific point of view, research shows people can pick up on emotions in a face in as little as 1/10 of a second. Before you speak, the tiny muscles around your eyes and mouth already tell the room whether you're safe, guarded, peaceful, anxious, or pretending. Now imagine what happens when God spends years working on your heart. All those nights you sat with Him telling the truth. All the times you held yourself back when you had every reason to explode. All the moments you forgave, released, cried, surrendered, and kept walking. Your nervous system didn't stay the same. Your muscles didn't stay the same. Your resting face stopped carrying the same fear it used to. You didn't see that change happening. You were too busy surviving it. But heaven watched every adjustment. And slowly, God allowed what He healed inside of you to leak into your expression. That's why your eyes don't look like they used to. There is less panic sitting behind them, more depth, more stillness. The corners of your mouth don't hold the same tension. Even when you're serious, you don't look as hardened as you did in your survival years. To a stranger passing by, it looks like you glow more. To the spirit realm, your face now carries clearer signals. Signals of authority, honesty, purity, and experience. And people feel that, even if they don't have language for it. Think about the small moments. A child looks at you and just stares, like they've known you before. A stranger starts oversharing with you in a waiting room. An old acquaintance becomes awkward, avoids your eyes, or rushes the conversation. These reactions are not random. Your face has become a kind of spiritual screen. Those who are hungry for truth feel seen and safe around you. Those who are running from truth feel exposed. If this is already resonating, and you know someone else who feels different but can't name it yet, you can share this with them later. Sometimes one explanation saves a chosen one from years of confusion. My dear friend, you didn't get here by accident. You went through seasons where your features were shaped by stress. You wore disappointment in the lines across your forehead. You carried exhaustion in the way your eyes scanned every room, always preparing for something to go wrong. You smiled for others, but your face told the story of a soul that lived in defense mode. God saw that version of you. He loved that version of you, but He also knew it was built around protection, not purpose. So He began working from the inside out. He confronted the lies you believed about being unlovable. He removed people who drained you. He closed doors that kept your body on constant alert. He sat with you in your lowest moments until your system learned, "We're not in danger anymore. We can be at ease now." As that happened, your expression shifted. Your face stopped saying, "I'm bracing for impact," and started whispering, "I know who holds me." That's why these days, even when you're tired, people say you look peaceful, even if they can't step close enough to tell you. Now, when some people look at you, they feel drawn. They see kindness in your eyes, and it disarms them. They feel that you won't make fun of their pain, so they open up. And then there are others. They feel confronted, not because you judge them, but because your face no longer agrees with their games. The same light that comforts the honest will always unsettle the fake. This is why some people freeze when they look at you. Their spirit recognizes a clarity they haven't chosen yet. Remember this, you are not imagining these changes. Heaven has been updating what your face says about you, and the world is only now catching up to the work God did in secret. If heaven has been updating what your face says about you, that means this isn't just about reactions, it's about where your life is heading next. Let me give you one simple picture. It's like when a shop changes the sign above the door. Same building, same street. But the new sign quietly tells people, this place is different now. Old customers might walk past, hesitate, and keep going. New customers suddenly feel drawn to step inside. That's what God has done with your face. He didn't change who you are. He changed the sign people read when they look at you. This is why you've been noticing strange shifts. You see someone from your past at the store and they greet you, but they won't hold your gaze. They used to joke with you, talk over you, or treat you casually. Now their words are shorter, their smile is tighter. They look at your forehead, your shoulder, anywhere but your eyes. They're not being dramatic, they're confused. Because the last time they really looked at you, you were carrying fear, people-pleasing, or silent guilt. And now, even with your own flaws and doubts, your face carries something they didn't expect: self-respect, clarity, and a quiet knowing of who walks with you. Chosen ones, this is why some people feel like they lost access to you without anything dramatic happening. Your number is the same, your voice is the same, but your face no longer confirms the version of you they remember. So the relationship can't sit in the old place anymore. You might even notice this with family. You say something simple like, I don't have the energy for that today, and instead of arguing, they just fall silent. They look at you a little longer, trying to figure out what changed. They may not say it out loud, but their spirit is reading your expression. This person is not as easily pushed anymore. And then there is the other side, the new people. Someone you barely know keeps gravitating toward you at work. They say things like, I don't know why I'm telling you this, and their eyes search yours for safety. They read patience in your face. They see that you actually listen. They feel like they don't have to perform. Your face has become a quiet invitation. You don't have to pretend here. That is not coincidence. God planned that. That is what happens when God trusts a chosen one with visible authority. It doesn't always look like microphones, platforms, or titles. Sometimes it looks like a face that makes people think twice before they act. My dear friend, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not too much. You are not intimidating. You are not scary. You are clear, and clarity is rare. People freeze because, for a split second, they see themselves more honestly when they look at you. They see where they are avoiding growth. They see patterns they've gotten comfortable with. They feel the gap between who they said they are and who they actually are. And God is going to use that, not to embarrass them, but to gently raise them higher. This is why He needs you to stay soft, even while you're strong. You don't have to fix everyone. You don't have to explain your discernment. You don't have to fold yourself down so others feel comfortable. You simply have to keep doing what brought you here, telling God the truth, choosing peace over chaos when you can, stepping away from what drains your soul, and letting Him correct you when He needs to. He will handle the rest. In this next season, your face is going to open doors your resume never could. Someone will trust you with a responsibility because they can see integrity written on your expression. Someone will recommend you because they remember how safe they felt standing next to you. Someone will choose you as a friend, a partner, a leader, a voice, not because you shouted for attention, but because your face quietly carried proof of what God has walked you through. And when you catch your reflection and feel that strange mix of, is that really me? And, but it feels right, don't rush past it. That's not vanity, that's recognition. So the next time someone freezes for a moment when you look at each other, don't overthink it. You don't have to perform. You don't have to apologize for shining with what God healed. Simply remember, my face is telling the truth now. God changed what I carry, and whoever is meant for this version of me will feel it as peace, not as threat. Heaven is not embarrassed by what your face says about you. Heaven is proud of it. And little by little, the world is going to see exactly why. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. The moment you've been waiting for is here. You're on the brink of a massive change that's been building up for a while. As a chosen one destined for greatness, the inner work you've done is about to pay off in a big way. My dear friend, you are already so blessed. You know that being blessed isn't just about the material things you have. It's about the deep, unwavering connection you have with God Himself. You've always felt this connection, even in your darkest moments, and it's this very connection that has guided and protected you. Right now, more than ever, you need to recognize this truth. You may have found yourself walking a path that feels lonelier than most. Perhaps your circle of friends is small, or maybe you've had to distance yourself from people who don't resonate with your energy. It's because you're acutely aware of the value of your energy and how it can be drained by those who aren't aligned with your purpose. You've been selective because you understand that your energy is sacred, and it's meant to be shared with those who are on the same frequency as you. You've been doing the work through prayer, reflection, or simply staying careful about the energy you allow in. All of these practices are leading you to a moment where the blessings you've been patiently waiting for are about to make themselves known. Chosen ones, you are no strangers to inner work. You understand that the journey to self-awareness and spiritual alignment requires dedication, and you've been fully committed. Whether you've been consciously reprogramming your subconscious mind, letting go of limiting beliefs, or cutting ties with negative influences, all of this work has been preparing you for the significant change that is about to unfold in your life. Think about the times you've chosen solitude over socializing, not because you wanted to isolate yourself, but because you knew that true growth happens in those quiet moments of reflection. You've spent time in deep thought, or just being with yourself in that silence. This is where transformation begins. You've learned to listen to your inner voice, to trust your intuition, and to follow the guidance that comes from within. This has led you to shed old layers of yourself, outdated beliefs, fears, and doubts that no longer serve your highest good. And because of this, you're now operating from a cleaner, stronger place within you, ready to attract the things that are in alignment with your true self. You may have specific dreams or goals that you've been nurturing for a long time. Perhaps you've been working toward manifesting a new career, a relationship, or a deeper spiritual understanding. The message here is clear. These things are on their way to you. God has heard your prayers and seen your efforts, and now it's time for those blessings to materialize. As a chosen one, you know that what you focus on expands. So instead of worrying about what might go wrong or whether things will work out, focus on the excitement and joy that comes from knowing your desires are about to manifest. Visualize yourself living the life you've dreamed of. See it clearly, feel it deeply, and allow yourself to be filled with the energy of that reality. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is how you align yourself with the energy of your desires. When you do this, you're not just hoping for something to happen. You're actively creating the conditions that make it possible. My dear friend, one of the most important things you can do as these blessings start to unfold is to stay present. God often works in mysterious ways, and opportunities can come at the most unexpected times. If you're too caught up in the past or anxious about the future, you might miss them. Being present means being fully engaged with the moment you're in. It means paying attention to the signs and synchronicities that are guiding you. You know God speaks to you in quiet, subtle ways, through numbers, symbols, dreams, and even random encounters. But to catch these signs, you need to be here now. Imagine you're going about your day and something catches your eye. A book, a conversation, a song. These aren't coincidences. They're messages meant to guide you. But if you're distracted, you might miss them. This is why staying present is so crucial. It allows you to be in the right place at the right time, ready to receive the guidance and opportunities that are meant for you. Dear Chosen One, the next few weeks are going to be pivotal for you. You've been feeling the shifts for a long time now. Small changes in your thoughts, subtle nudges in your spirit, quiet moments where something deep inside you said, "Something is coming." Those moments weren't random, they were preparation. Everything you've been working toward is beginning to align, but this is the moment where your attention matters more than ever. As these blessings start to unfold, you need to stay mindful of your thoughts, your focus, and the energy you carry into each day. As a chosen one, your thoughts hold weight. They echo louder in the spiritual realm. So be intentional with what you entertain. If you feel doubt creeping in, pause, shift. Remind yourself of how far you've come and of the strength that carried you here. Replace uncertainty with the truth you've already lived. You are capable, guided, and protected. And my dear friend, this next part is important. Your actions must agree with the blessings you're calling in. It's not enough to hope for change. You must also move like someone who believes change is coming. That may mean stepping out of your comfort zone, saying yes to opportunities that stretch you, or choosing courage over routine. Growth always asks something of you, and you are ready for that now. If you've been wanting a new career, a new chapter, or a deeper sense of purpose, take steps that show God you're prepared. Apply for what aligns with your spirit. Learn what strengthens your gifts. Position yourself for the life you've been praying for. The same is true for love and connection. If you want deeper relationships, open your heart a little more. Share your truth with people who honor it. Create space for the kind of love that nurtures you. And if you've been seeking spiritual growth, don't ignore the invitations God places in your path. New practices, new insights, new people, all of these may be part of your next chapter. As a chosen one, you attract what you embody, not just what you desire. When your actions match your intentions, blessings come toward you with ease. But with all of this movement, there's something else you must hold close. Patience. Not the heavy kind of patience that feels like waiting forever, but the quiet trust that says, "What God wrote for me cannot miss me." The blessings coming your way may not appear exactly how you imagined, but they will appear. And when they do, they will fit your life in ways you couldn't have planned yourself. Let the timing unfold. Let the process breathe. What's yours is already finding its way to you. And my dear friend, gratitude will be your superpower during this transition. You already understand how powerful gratitude is. It lifts your spirit. It sharpens your perspective. It aligns you with abundance even before abundance arrives. When you take a moment to appreciate what you have, you open the door wider for what's coming next. You don't need a long list. Just a simple acknowledgement of the blessings already in your life, the support you have, the strength you gained, the growth you fought for. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to fullness, and that shift is crucial in this season of becoming. As you step into this new chapter, understand something deeply. You are not the same person you were before. The inner work changed you, the solitude shaped you, the challenges refined you. This new version of you is stronger, clearer, and far more aligned with your true path. You've released old beliefs, old fears, and old identities that once held you back. You've made room inside yourself for something greater, and that greater is exactly what's arriving now. So embrace the new you with confidence, stand tall in it, walk forward in it. You are deserving of every good thing coming your way. You earned this growth. You earned this clarity. You earned this moment of breakthrough. My dear friend, your time is now. You've done the work. You've aligned your spirit, and God is ready to deliver what He's been preparing behind the scenes. The next few weeks will not just change your circumstances, they will confirm your identity. They will show you why the waiting was necessary. They will reveal the doors that were meant to open only after you became who you are today. So stay present, stay grateful, and stay open, because the transformation you've been expecting is already unfolding, and you are more than ready to receive it. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. This message is landing in your hands at the exact second heaven allowed it. And if you've been feeling pressure around your job, your income, or the direction of your career, you're about to understand why. Here's the truth most people never realize. When God wants to shift someone's life, He doesn't always start with relationships or emotions. He starts with the area that shapes your daily reality, your work. And if this message reached you now, it's because your work has been sitting under a spiritual spotlight for weeks. You didn't have the language for it, but you felt it. The restlessness, the tightness in your chest before you clock in, the sense that something is off, even when nothing looks wrong on paper. The late-night thoughts about quitting, right before convincing yourself to stay. The loss of motivation that doesn't match the amount of effort you keep pouring in. This is not burnout or laziness, and this is absolutely not about you being ungrateful. This is divine interference, because when heaven wants to move you, it starts by making the old place feel too small for you to fit in anymore. Chosen ones, please hear me. God has been watching the way you carry yourself, even in environments that no longer feed you. He's seen you giving your all in places that barely see you. He's seen the way you hold in your frustration and still show up with integrity. He's heard the quiet, "Why am I still here?" you whisper in the car before walking into your shift. Today is when heaven answers you. If this message is already speaking to your spirit, take 1 second and give it a like so it travels to the people who need it. That small action is how these messages reach the rest of the chosen ones searching for clarity right now. My dear friend, your job has been under spiritual review, not because you're failing, not because you're doing something wrong, but because the way you've been working, the honesty, the effort, the discipline, has produced something heaven refuses to let go to waste. You've been operating with excellence in a place that doesn't recognize excellence. You've outgrown systems that refuse to grow with you. You've become trustworthy in an environment that no longer deserves what you carry. That's why the pressure has increased. That's why your patience has been thin. That's why the smallest things have been irritating you more than before. That's why your spirit keeps whispering, there has to be more, because there is more. Let me make this part unmistakably clear. You know those days when everything at work suddenly feels heavier? Tasks that once felt simple now drain you. People you used to flow with now feel distant. You look around and see yourself doing the work of 3 people, with the recognition of none. That's not random. That's spiritual misalignment showing itself in daily life. God is letting the ground beneath your feet get uncomfortable, not to punish you, but to move you. Chosen ones, there are conversations happening about your name that you know nothing about yet. Someone is observing your work ethic. Someone is quietly impressed by your consistency. Someone has noticed that you carry something rare, something that cannot be taught or imitated. And while you're thinking about bills, stability, and next steps, heaven is already rearranging the pieces of your story. Your job isn't just a job. It's the platform where God will reveal the next version of you. For some of you, this means elevation where you currently are. For others, new doors in places you never applied. For some, a shift into an entirely new field you never imagined. And for a few, God is preparing to build something through you that doesn't exist yet. But all of it begins with this. Heaven refuses to let you stay somewhere that keeps your spirit small. You've been giving more than you're receiving, carrying the weight without the title, solving problems without the credit, You've been the stability of an entire team without being acknowledged as the reason it functions. And God is saying, I saw every moment you thought no one noticed. Chosen ones, listen closely now. Your financial atmosphere is shifting, not because you forced it, but because heaven has decided the season of being undervalued has ended. This is why your emotions have been unpredictable at work. This is why your spirit won't let you settle. This is why the job you once tolerated now feels too tight, too loud, too small. Your environment is shrinking because your calling is expanding. And when calling expands, God begins to rearrange everything connected to your provision, your income, your positioning, your stability, your opportunities. Something is moving, something is aligning, something is breaking open, and the shift will not be subtle. Let's walk even deeper into what's unfolding around you right now, because the shift you're stepping into isn't emotional hype. It's structural. It's happening in places you cannot see yet, and it's about to manifest in a way you won't be able to ignore. You've been operating with a kind of strength that most people don't understand, showing up on the days you felt empty, finishing tasks even when your spirit wanted to be anywhere else, carrying teams, deadlines, pressure, all while pretending everything was normal. But heaven didn't miss a single moment of that. And now that your calling is expanding, God is beginning to send signs, subtle at first, that your season is shifting. If you look closely, you may have already noticed them. Things that used to work smoothly suddenly feel heavy. People who once relied on you seem distant or unpredictable. The atmosphere feels unfamiliar, almost like you're standing in a hallway between two doors, one closing, one not yet opened. And here's the truth many of you need to hear. You're not losing your motivation, you're losing your tolerance. You're losing your tolerance for being undervalued, for being underpaid, for being overlooked, for being surrounded by people who don't see what God placed inside you. Heaven is lowering your tolerance so you cannot settle in a place that was never meant to hold your next chapter. My dear friend, this part matters. When God shifts your work, He doesn't just change your job, He changes you first. He widens your capacity, sharpens your discernment, strengthens your voice, deepens your clarity, and then He adjusts your environment to match it. That's why things feel tight. That's why conversations at work feel different. That's why you sense a kind of spiritual tension every time you walk into the same familiar building. It's not anxiety. It's not you overthinking. It's alignment pushing against limitation, and alignment always wins. Some of you will notice this next piece very soon. People at your job are about to treat you differently. Not because you changed anything, but because your spirit changed. Your presence carries weight now. Your boundaries are clearer. Your patience has a backbone. Your silence has authority. Your ideas feel sharper. Your energy feels more focused. You don't have to announce elevation for people to feel it. Elevation broadcasts itself, and that's exactly why certain individuals around you may start acting strangely, distancing, criticizing, or suddenly becoming overly curious about your moves. It's not because they know what's coming, it's because they can feel the atmosphere around you shifting before you do. God is lifting you, and the shift is leaking through your energy. Chosen ones, let me speak directly into the area you've been wrestling with most, your provision. For too long, you've been trying to stretch just enough into more than enough. You've been doing mental gymnastics every month, trying to make numbers line up that were never meant to line up without God's intervention. You've been carrying financial pressure that doesn't match the amount of responsibility you've taken on. But hear me, heaven is upgrading the source, not the struggle. God is not asking you to work harder. He is positioning you to work wiser, to work in alignment, to work where your gift is recognized, not drained. And that's why everything in your spirit has been saying, I can't stay here forever. That whisper is not fear, it's prophecy. Let me give you a picture of what's unfolding. For some of you, conversations are happening behind closed doors about your value. Meetings you aren't in, decisions you don't know about yet, shifts you won't hear until they reach you. For some, someone with influence has already noticed your work and is preparing to open a door you didn't ask for. For others, God is preparing you for a sudden opportunity, the kind that appears out of nowhere but fits perfectly with everything you've been carrying. And for a powerful few, God is calling you into a level of creativity, leadership, or independence that you never imagined you would step into. Something that doesn't exist yet because you're the one meant to build it. Please listen to me, because this part is important. Your patience was not wasted. Your loyalty was not invisible. Your quiet endurance was not ignored. Heaven has been storing every moment of it. And now that your calling has expanded, God is aligning your work with your worth. A raise won't fix what you're feeling. A title won't fix it either. Because what's shifting is not a position, it's identity. You are becoming someone who cannot fit into small roles anymore. Someone whose voice carries solutions. Someone whose presence changes the stability of a room. Someone whose gift creates opportunities simply by being fully expressed. This is why God is rearranging your work environment, not to create instability, but to create momentum. God is placing you where your value is undeniable, where your gift is needed, where your presence is honored, where your work is recognized, where your income reflects the weight of what you carry. And when it lands, when the door opens, when the opportunity appears, when the shift becomes visible, you will look back at this season and realize, heaven wasn't breaking you. Heaven was building you. And now you're ready. Before you go, if you'd like to sit in this same peace a little longer, I've created a place for that. My second channel, Simplified Serenity. It's filled with worship instrumentals made for prayer, meditation, and stillness. A quiet space for your heart to breathe, rest, and connect with God. Just tap on the playlist on your screen. I'd love to see you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There is a real disagreement happening over your life right now, and you didn't even have to be in the room to start it. Not in the usual spaces people talk, not where noise lives. This is unfolding somewhere your ears can't reach, but your spirit can feel. If this found you, it's because heaven wants you, a chosen one, to finally understand what's been happening around your life. Behind the scenes, your name is on the table, spiritually, relationally, emotionally. There's a tug of war over what gets to sit closest to your heart next. On one side is everything that once fed off your confusion, people, patterns, versions of you that needed chaos just to feel alive. On the other side is what God has been forming in you quietly. Peace, stability, purpose, a love that doesn't demand you bleed just to prove it's real. That's the real weight behind the phrase, "they're fighting over you." Not just people arguing, it's two directions wrestling for the right to walk beside your destiny. You've already felt the evidence of this in your everyday life. You're exhausted even when you sleep. You catch yourself staring at old photos or messages you thought you were done with. Out of nowhere, your heart starts racing when a certain name pops up on your screen, even if you don't open the notification. Some days you feel pulled backward. Other days you feel like someone is quietly calling you forward. You're not imagining that push and pull. Your spirit can feel that a decision is approaching, and the unseen realm knows whoever stands beside you in this next season won't just be close to your heart. They'll be close to your assignment. For a long time, people underestimated what it meant to have access to you. They thought they were just texting a kind person, just dating someone nice, just having you as the friend who always answers at 2 a.m. They didn't realize they were being handed front row seats to someone God has been preparing for serious purpose. Now the realization is hitting them hard. There is someone from your past who cannot outrun your name right now. They pretend they've moved on, but their nervous system tells the truth. A random sound, a street, a song sends them right back to a moment with you. They see your posts and feel that quiet sting in their chest. When people bring up your name in casual conversation, they're the first to say, "No, You don't know what they've really been through. Or, don't talk about them like that. They used to dismiss you. Now, behind closed doors, they're defending you. Not because it makes them look good. In fact, sometimes it makes them uncomfortable. But they can't deny what their own spirit finally sees. You were never common. You were carrying a kind of light they didn't have the maturity to hold. At the same time, someone else has started to notice you in a completely different way. This person might not know your whole story. They may not know the details of what broke you, what you survived, what you forgave, but they felt your energy in real, simple moments. The way you go quiet instead of exploding. The way you change the subject when conversations turn cruel. The way your smile looks tired sometimes, but your eyes still carry softness. Something in them made a promise before they even fully understood it. If I ever get close to this person, I will not be another wound. I will not add to what already tried to crush them. You've probably sensed this too, that there's a new energy in your life that doesn't come with fireworks, but with calm. Messages that don't rush you. Someone who checks if you ate, not just if you're free tonight. Someone who respects your boundaries instead of taking them personally. So here you are, a familiar pull from the past and a quiet invitation from the future are both brushing against your present. And heaven is paying very close attention to what you'll do with this tension. This is not about turning your life into a romantic drama. This is about what kind of atmosphere you're going to live in from this point forward. Because here's the truth. The battle has never really been who gets to have you. The real question has always been, which voice will you agree with about your worth? The one that treated you as replaceable until the loss started to hurt? Or the one that sees your value even before they know your full story? The one that thrives on chaos, mixed signals, and hot and cold attention? Or the one that brings clarity, steadiness, and peace without needing to perform? Chosen ones, this is why you've been feeling stretched. Something in you knows you can't live another year in the same cycle. Your soul is tired of needing drama just to feel chosen. Your spirit is tired of connections that require you to constantly question yourself. Heaven is not staging a competition over you for entertainment. Heaven is separating who loves your presence from who only loved your access. And right now, decisions are being weighed, not just in the hearts of others, but in yours. Who gets to talk to you at 1 a.m.? Who gets to hear your real fears, not just your jokes? Who gets to see you on the days you're not on, not polished, not strong? Because whoever holds those places is also holding influence over where your next season goes. You may not realize it, but this crossroads you're standing in, it changes everything. Because the people who come close to your heart don't just take a seat, they take a direction. They pull your life toward peace, or toward confusion, toward clarity, or toward noise. And heaven has watched you choose noise for far too long. That's why even the atmosphere feels heavier than usual. That's why your emotions feel unpredictable, even on quiet days. You're not overwhelmed, you're being recalibrated. And here's where it gets real. There is someone who once held your heart like it was optional. They told themselves you'd always be there. They told themselves you'd never outgrow the version of you that tolerated their crumbs, their silence, their inconsistent affection. But now, something simple exposes them. They can't settle. They're replaying your memories, trying to stay composed, but their chest gives them away. And when your name comes up, their voice shifts. It softens, it tightens. They can feel what they lost, even if they don't have the courage to say it yet. That's one side of the pull. But on the other side, there is someone who hasn't caused you an ounce of chaos. Someone who doesn't come wrapped in confusion, just presence. You didn't meet them with a rush. You met them with steadiness. They don't need to win anything. They don't compete. They simply see you, the way you think, the way you soften your voice when you're tired, the way you shut down conflict instead of feeding it. They see it. And something in them quietly says, if I ever get close to this person, I'm going to protect what life has already tried to break. This isn't a triangle at all. This isn't drama. This is revelation. Two different energies, pulling at the same life for two very different reasons. One returns out of regret, the other appears out of honor. And here's the part most people overlook. Your silence has been louder than any decision you've ever made. You didn't block them. You didn't start arguments. You didn't throw your healing in anyone's face. You simply grew quietly. And that growth has been echoing. Chosen ones, this is one of the main reasons why your spirit has been restless. Heaven is filtering your connections, separating intention from affection, separating those who love your presence from those who only loved your access. And now the moment is coming, the moment where clarity steps forward. It won't be loud, it won't be dramatic. It won't come with shaking hands or rehearsed speeches. It will come through something small, a message that lands at the exact second your spirit softens, a name that appears when your heart is finally steady, a conversation that feels strangely familiar, as if heaven rehearsed it long before it reached your ears. And right there, in that moment, the tension around your life will break. Not because someone won you, but because you chose peace. Because the one meant to walk with you in this next chapter won't make you beg for clarity. They won't play tug of war with your emotions. They won't treat your heart like a guessing game. They'll arrive with intention. They'll speak with steadiness. And their presence will feel like your nervous system finally exhaling. This next season isn't about romance. It's about true alignment. It's about choosing the voice that lifts your spirit, not the one that drains it. It's about recognizing the difference between someone who wants to heal with you and someone who wants to relive the past with you. Because the truth is this: you were never just being fought over. You were being positioned for clarity, positioned for peace, positioned for a connection that doesn't wound you just to feel alive. And when the dust settles, and it will, you'll look back and understand. The restlessness was preparing you. The tension was for your protection. And the pull you've been feeling wasn't confusion. It was heaven choosing who gets to stand beside your destiny. Because what's meant for you now won't come with mixed signals. It will come with truth, with calm, with intention. And when it arrives, you will feel it. Not in your mind, but in your chest. A warmth, a steadiness, a sense of finally. The fight ends, peace takes over, and the right presence steps forward, not to compete, but to stay. Before you go, if you'd like to sit in this same peace a little longer, I've created a place for that. My second channel, Simplified Serenity. It's filled with worship instrumentals made for prayer, meditation, and stillness. A quiet space for your heart to breathe, rest, and connect with God. Just tap on the playlist on your screen. I'd love to see you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. If this found you, it's because you've started to feel like the only clear mind in a world that's half asleep with its eyes open. Maybe you've noticed it in small, unnerving ways. You're sitting in a room. The TV is on in the corner, flashing bright colors. The joke that comes through the speakers is cruel, shallow, or empty, and everyone around you laughs. You don't. Something in your chest tightens. The room feels a little colder. You look around and wonder, am I the only one who thinks this is strange? Or you're scrolling on your phone. Everyone seems obsessed with the same trends, the same arguments, the same chase for more. More status, more attention, more distraction. And instead of feeling excited, you feel tired deep in your soul. You close the app and sit there, staring at the soft light in the room, hearing the faint hum of a refrigerator, and you think, there has to be more than this. Chosen ones, it can feel like you're watching the world through a different pair of eyes. The best way I can describe it is this. It's like being in a giant theater where everyone is absorbed in the movie, crying and laughing at the scenes. And suddenly, for you, the projector flickers. For a split second, you see the blank wall behind the image, the wires, the light, the dust floating in the beam. You glance around. Everyone else is still reacting to the story on the screen, but you can't unsee the wall now. You can't pretend you don't know it's there. That is what spiritual awakening feels like in a hypnotized world. My dear friend, if you've been feeling out of place because of this, I need you to hear me. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You are not overreacting. You are waking up. For a long time, you probably tried to talk yourself out of it. You told yourself, everyone else seems fine. I should just push through. I should care about what they care about. I should learn to not think so deeply. Maybe people even said those words to you. They rolled their eyes when you questioned things. They called you dramatic when you noticed what they ignored. They said, "Why do you always have to make everything so deep?" So you started wondering if something was wrong with you. You felt the pressure to play along, laugh at what they laugh at, pretend you don't see the emptiness in conversations that never go beyond gossip. Pretend you don't feel the weight of the constant noise, the notifications, the news, the opinions, all of it pulling your mind away from what really matters. Inside, though, you felt a quiet tug that wouldn't let you fully join the trance. That tug is why you are here. That tug is God. God has been gently placing a hand on your shoulder, turning your face away from the glowing distractions and towards something more real. You may not have language for it yet, but your spirit knows. You're starting to see through the patterns, the way people numb themselves, the way crowds repeat the same phrases without thinking, the way so many move through life without ever really being present in it. The world is running on autopilot, on performance, on pretending, on numbing out, so they don't have to face the ache in their own hearts. But your spirit can't tolerate that anymore. You can't lie to yourself the way you used to. You can't force yourself to stay in rooms that drain you. You can't participate in conversations that step on your values. You can't keep swallowing your questions just to keep the peace. And sometimes that makes you feel like you're the difficult one. You're not difficult, you're awake. Chosen ones, if this is resonating with you, take a breath with me right now. And if you feel this in your heart, you can gently like or subscribe so this message reaches more chosen ones who are waking up the way you are. You're not the only one, but I know it has felt that way. And yes, releasing what empties you can feel frightening. Not because it deserves to stay, but because the unknown asks you to trust a future you haven't stepped into yet. Now let's name what you've been experiencing. You walk into your workplace and you see it. People dragging themselves through the day, living for the weekend, forcing smiles in meetings, saying, "I'm fine," when their eyes say something else. You start recognizing the unspoken rules shaping the room. Don't question too much. Don't feel too much. Don't dream too much. You feel the weight of that atmosphere. You feel how everyone is pushing down their true thoughts just to fit in. In your family, maybe you notice patterns that no one wants to talk about. The way pain is passed down, the way certain topics are avoided, the way everyone pretends things are normal, because facing the truth would mean changing. In relationships, you can't unsee the games, the shallow validation, the way some people only come close when they need something, then disappear when you need them. And in all of that, you've asked yourself, why does this bother me so much? Why can't I just be like everyone else? Because, my dear friend, you are not here to stay asleep. You are here to be an exception. You are the sane one in a hypnotized world. That doesn't mean you're better than anyone. It means your eyes are opening earlier. It means God trusted you with awareness before others are ready for it. It means you feel the ache of what's wrong because you're being prepared to carry what's right. Your sensitivity is not a defect, it's a spiritual instrument. Your overthinking is not madness. It's your mind refusing to swallow lies without questioning them. Your discomfort in shallow spaces is not weakness. It's proof that your spirit has outgrown certain levels of pretending. Of course it feels lonely sometimes. Of course there are nights when you lie in bed, staring at the ceiling in the dim light, hearing distant traffic outside, and you wonder, am I really seeing something real, or am I losing my mind? Hear this clearly, you are seeing something real. When God wakes someone up, He often does it quietly at first. He lets you notice what doesn't sit right. He lets you feel restless in places where everyone else seems content. He lets your questions grow louder than your desire to blend in. Because once your eyes adjust to the truth, the old blur just doesn't feel livable anymore. You're being invited into a different level of awareness, purpose, and responsibility. Let this settle in your spirit. You are not crazy, you are not alone, you are waking up in a hypnotized world, and that awakening is the beginning of a very real, very holy assignment on your life. So now the question becomes, what do you do with this, my dear friend? What do you do when your eyes are open in a place that still prefers the dark? The first thing is this: you're not responsible for forcing anyone else to wake up. You can't drag people out of their dreams. You can't argue someone into clarity. You can't shout someone out of a trance they still enjoy. And if you've ever tried, you've felt how exhausting that is. You end up drained, misunderstood, and sometimes even attacked for simply seeing what you see. Chosen ones, your job is not to shake every shoulder around you. Your job is to stop betraying what God is showing you. That means when something feels off, you stop gaslighting yourself. When a space feels wrong, you stop calling it home just because it used to be. When a conversation keeps wounding your spirit, you stop telling yourself you're overreacting. This is where your awakening becomes practical. You start choosing where your attention goes. You start noticing what your body does around certain people. The tight chest, the tired eyes, the heavy sighs. You start noticing how you feel after spending an hour scrolling, compared to spending an hour in quiet or in prayer, or just sitting with your own thoughts. And slowly, you begin to honor what you notice in yourself. You take more pauses. You say no a little more often. You stop explaining yourself to people who only listen so they can argue. Not because you're better than them, because you finally understand that your peace is not a luxury, it's part of your assignment. There will be people who don't understand this version of you. They liked you better when you ignored your own discomfort. They were more comfortable when you laughed along, when you made yourself smaller to keep everything normal. And it will sting when they call this selfish, distant, or strange. But listen to me. You are not pulling away from love. You are pulling away from illusion. You are letting God separate you from what numbed you, so He can trust you with what needs your full presence. You will still be in rooms where the old noise is loud. You will still sit at tables where people talk about everything except what matters. You will still walk through systems that run on fear, comparison, and performance. But you won't walk through them the same way. Now you walk as someone who knows this is not all there is. You walk as someone whose spirit is awake, even when the environment is not. You walk as someone who can quietly choose a different response, a different standard, a different pace. There will be moments when you feel the old pull, to fit in, to go back to sleep, to stop questioning. In those moments, remember, you didn't ask for this awakening, but God trusted you with it anyway. So when you feel out of place, remember this: you are not lost. You are early. You are arriving at a level of awareness many around you haven't reached yet. And as you learn to live from that place, with humility, with tenderness, with courage, your very life becomes a quiet alarm clock in a sleeping world. You don't have to ring loudly. You just have to stay awake. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Before anything else, let me tell you why heaven pulled you into this moment. Not because something is wrong, not because you missed a sign, but because today, without even realizing it, you moved in a way that reached God's heart. And He doesn't want you to overlook it. You didn't arrive here out of routine. There is a reason your spirit paused. There is a reason you felt that small tug inside of you to be here right now. Heaven saw something in your day that you didn't label as important. and God refused to let it fade into the background. Because what you did today mattered, and God is genuinely, deeply, personally happy with you. You may not understand it yet. You may be thinking, but I didn't do anything holy or impressive. That's exactly why this message needed to reach you. God wasn't smiling at some grand achievement. He was smiling at the quiet decision you made when no one was congratulating you. Think about that for a moment. Because you've learned to move through life without recognizing how much your heart has changed. What feels ordinary to you now, the gentleness, the honesty, the restraint, heaven sees as growth. You can move through a normal day and assume nothing significant happened, while God is looking at you with pride. You don't notice it because it's become your second nature to be loving, kind, and faithful. But in God's eyes, every act of kindness is counted. Maybe you carried someone else's weight, even though your own heart felt stretched thin. Maybe you resisted a habit that used to pull you down, even if the resistance lasted only a few seconds. Maybe you held your tongue in a moment where you easily could have snapped back. Or maybe you whispered a quiet, "God, help me," while washing dishes, sitting in traffic, or holding back tears, and didn't realize heaven heard every word. These are the moments you dismiss, but heaven documents. These are the moments you assume are small, but God calls them proof of who you're becoming. Let me say this plainly. Today, you made a choice that aligned with the person God has been shaping in silence. And angels noticed, not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it was sincere. Heaven responds to sincerity the way the earth responds to rain, quietly, powerfully, immediately. And that thing you thought nobody saw, God saw it so clearly that He asked for this moment so you wouldn't bury it under the noise of your day. Chosen ones, please hear this. Heaven is not just watching your results. Heaven is watching your intentions. People look at what you produce. God looks at what you fight through. People see how fast you grow. God sees how hard you try. People notice your victories. God notices the battles you never told anyone about. You underestimate your own heart because you measure yourself by what you wish you had done. But God measures you by the direction you're facing, and today you faced Him. Even if it felt like a small turn, heaven recorded it as progress. Let me tell you exactly what God highlighted about you today. Your restraint meant more than your words ever could. Maybe you wanted to explain yourself, defend yourself, or react from pain, but you didn't. You chose peace when your emotions wanted a different path. God saw that. Your kindness carried more weight than you realized. A simple gesture, a calm tone, a moment of patience, the kind of thing you forget 5 minutes later. Heaven doesn't forget. Your endurance impressed God more than your strength. You woke up tired. You felt stretched. You didn't feel holy or powerful, but you still tried. Heaven sees that as courage. Your private obedience spoke louder than any public worship. Nobody knows the internal decision you made today, except you and God. But that decision changed the atmosphere of your spirit. Chosen ones, hear me clearly. God smiled at you today, not because you were flawless, not because you followed every plan perfectly, but because you were faithful in the part of the day nobody else witnessed. You think you're barely holding it together. Heaven is watching you hold on. You think you're taking small steps. Heaven sees discipline forming inside you. You think you're struggling through ordinary moments. Heaven sees the heart of someone who refuses to drift away. My dear friend, God is pleased with the direction of your heart. He delights in your sincerity. He honors your effort. He recognizes your growth, especially the parts you don't even recognize in yourself. There's something else you need to understand about today. What moved God's heart wasn't just this one day in isolation. It was this day sitting on top of years of choosing Him when it would have been easier to go numb. He saw the mornings you got up with that heavy feeling in your chest and still whispered, "God, carry me." He saw the nights you lay awake staring at the ceiling, feeling like your thoughts were louder than your prayers. and you still chose to talk to him instead of running from him. He saw the messages you deleted instead of sending, the number you didn't call back, the door you didn't reopen, even though loneliness told you to. None of that was wasted. So when heaven looked at what you did today, it wasn't a random good job. It was the kind of joy that comes from watching a long, difficult chapter finally start to turn. Because you haven't just been behaving differently. You've been becoming different. Chosen ones, hear this deeply. You have been far more consistent in your growth than you have been giving yourself credit for. You think, if I still struggle with this thought, maybe I haven't changed. But God looks at you and says, look how far they've come. Look how quickly they come back to me now. Look how they refuse to let darkness have the last word. He doesn't judge your entire journey by your hardest day. He doesn't erase your progress because you had a moment of weakness. He doesn't cross out your obedience because you felt tired. You see the one time you slipped. God sees the 50 times you didn't. You replay the conversation where you wish you'd said it better. God remembers the 100 moments where you chose kindness instead of revenge. You focus on the prayer you didn't pray. God remembers the countless times you did, quietly, privately, in the middle of doing something ordinary. This is why heaven is happy with you today. God sees the whole story. You only see a screenshot. Think about how you treat a child who is learning to write. They press the pencil too hard. The letters are uneven. The line is crooked. But when they turn the page around and show you their effort, you don't throw it away because it isn't perfect. You smile. You see progress. You see courage. You see the way they're trying. You put the paper on the fridge. That's how God looks at you. You see the crooked lines? He sees your courage to pick up the pencil again after all you've been through. If people could see the full footage of your life, the private tears, the quiet self-corrections, the way you dragged yourself forward when nobody was checking on you, they would finally understand why heaven is clapping over you today. And I know there's a part of you that wrestles with this, because for a long time you've carried the thought, maybe God is disappointed in me. Maybe I should be further by now. Maybe he's tired of my process. You look at your mistakes and assume God sees you through the same harsh lens you've used on yourself. But my dear friend, listen carefully. God is not surprised by your weaknesses. He already knew your temperament, your triggers, your fears, the weight of your past, the wounds in your heart. He knew all of that when he called you. He doesn't stand back with folded arms, waiting for you to finally get it together. He walks with you in every small step, like a father who knows exactly how heavy your feet feel, but is still proud every time you take another one. You see slow progress. He sees solid foundations. You see delays. He sees protection. You see someone who's trying not to mess up. He sees someone who keeps choosing him, even when it would be easier to disappear into old patterns. This is why God is happy with you today. Not because you turned into a different person overnight, but because your heart has stayed reachable, teachable, and responsive to him. Chosen ones, I want you to notice something. In the middle of all your internal battles, you never fully walked away. You might have gone quiet for a while. You might have felt numb, disconnected, or confused. You might have had days where you wondered if your prayers were bouncing off the walls. But even then, something in you still believed. Something in you still reached. Something in you refused to let go of God, even when you didn't understand him. That something is what heaven celebrates today. Because anyone can praise when life is easy. But you chose God in the middle of unanswered questions. You chose God in the middle of fatigue and frustration. You chose God even when you felt like the least spiritual version of yourself. And that choice, quiet, steady, almost invisible from the outside, carries more weight in the spirit than you realize. My dear friend, remember, you are loved, you are seen, you are becoming. And whether you feel worthy of it or not, God is genuinely, deeply pleased with the direction of your heart today. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.